Hello my friends, welcome to a new YouTube video where I'm going to test 4 different cold wax mediums. 2 of them I already know and 2 are new to me. I've been sent 2 different kind of cold waxes over the summer. This is Kremer. It comes in a pot made of glass, so it's a bit heavy, I think, for shipping, but I'm going to test it. And the other one is Zest-it. I have heard of but haven't tried yet, and both of them, they are much easier to find in Europe, so that's really a plus for the people that are in Europe, because Gamblin, the one we all know, is quite difficult to find in Europe. So that's why I'm going to test these 2 out. This one is my own, which for now I prefer. It's quite thick. We will try the other ones too. So I'm going to make 4 little paintings, one with a Zest-it, one with the Kremer, one with my own, and one with Gamblin, and we'll see the difference. Okay, first the consistency. We will just see which one is the thickest and which one is the thinnest. I think the Zest-it is the thickest and the Gamblin is the thinnest. We'll try. And mine is very thick too, so I love that. It's a bit stiff. So this is the Zest-it. Oh, it's okay, it's not that stiff. Then we have Kremer. Maybe that one is a bit stiffer. Yeah, that one is a bit stiffer than Zest-it. It's still very, very nice. Then mine. Even thicker. I think mine is the thickest. And then Gamblin, you will see, very thin and creamy. So I think it's all about the different preferences, you know. Mine is the thickest, I guess. You can see it. Then I think the Kremer. Then the Zest-it. And then the Gamblin. So I think it's just a personal preference. I love my own, so I think I will love the Kremer and the Zest-it too. I started painting with the Gamblin. I liked it very much, but then I made my own. I got so used to this one that I think this one is way too thin, so I'm always mixing it with a bit of marble dust when I paint with the Gamblin to make it a bit thicker. But like I said, it's all personal preference. Let's start with the Zest-it. It already smells very, very nice. Like a bit of a lemon orange smell. I love it. It is quite stiff, as you can see, but I like that because mine is stiff as well. And I know in the beginning I had to get used to it, but now I'm so used to it that I don't really like the Gamblin anymore because it's quite thin. So this is the Zest-it. And we'll mix it with the colors. 50%, 50% like we always do. And I think if you're used to the Gamblin cold wax, you think it's quite stiff, but I'm sure you're going to love it once you're used to it. I will mix this one with a bit of titanium buff, like I always do. I prefer mixing the titanium buff than the titanium white. Such a richer color. Warmer color. I will mix some gray, which I think will look nice with this color combination. You see that I'm always mixing with my palette knife. Okay, we'll start with the dark. And I have to keep in mind to work on this one because I always work on several paintings at the same time. So I'm very tempted to do this, but I won't. This is a test. It's thicker, but I'm used to it now, so I really love it. And I'm not even sure if I can tell the difference with my thick one, my own homemade cold wax. This is nice. And because it's thicker, it's easy to create textures. You can apply it thick or thinner. Okay, I'm going to do the other one with using the Kremer. Okay, the next one is the Kremer one. When I mixed the cold wax, the Kremer cold wax in these colors, I noticed that this one is a lot stiffer than the Zest-it. So we're going to do a layer with the Kremer. And you also feel it when you drag the ball scraper over the surface that it's thicker. Just a play. Just adding some gray because that will make the other color stand out more. It's a nice trick. I want a bit of the similar effects as I did with this one, so we can compare. And you can see, because it's thicker, the textures are different too. This one. You see they stand out even more than they are. I like that. It's difficult to work on such a small surface when it's wet. Okay, I'm going to do the Gamblin one because I know mine, and that's about the same as this one, quite stiff. And as you can see, it's much creamier than the other one, really, really creamy. And thin. So I just want to say there's not one better than the other. It's just personal preference. It's what you like, what you're used to. This one is probably a bit easier to handle because it's so thin. You can also see that the textures are different when it's thin. It mixes the colors more than the other one when wet. Let's see, if you drag it, immediately it picks up the color of the underlying layer. But you can create beautiful effects too. Lights and darks. You see that the textures aren't as pronounced as they are here. But I love this. How this mixes with the underlying layers. Okay, I'm going to do this one with my own, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I finished the last one. This one is mine. They're a bit similar, I think, with the Zest-it and the Kremer. Like I said, the Gamblin is really much thinner than those three. And what I also realized when doing these little test paintings is that I prefer the thick one in the first layers, because I like to have the textures in the first layers, and then maybe the Gamblin, which is a bit thinner, in the last layers, because it blends beautifully. But then again, you can thin down these other ones with other mediums to get a bit of a flow. So I'm going to let it dry. Tomorrow I'm going to work on them a little bit more with the Neo colors, I think, to add some accents, see if that works the same on all 4 of them. And because I'm not creating beautiful paintings, I'm just testing. And then we can also see if there's one drying faster than the other. So I took the tape off, and it always looks so much nicer without the tape, even though they were just test pieces. They look kind of nice. They're not quite dry yet. They're dry to the touch, but if you go over it with your finger, you still see that the textures are, the inside of the textures are not completely dry. And the drying time always depends on the thickness of the layers, because you will see where it's thin, it's already dry. The humidity of your working place. We had a very, very big thunderstorm yesterday, and it was really humid in my studio. So maybe that's why it took a bit longer to dry. It depends on the paint as well. I've noticed that especially this red, the alizarin crimson, takes a long time to dry because there's a lot of binder in it. So all these factors play with the drying time. There's no difference between the different cold wax mediums. They're all dry to the touch, but not completely dry. So I will scribble a bit, just to show you what I often do. And I use this technique to get back into my paintings. But I don't know if it's dry enough. You can see you dig into the paint when it's not dry enough. It's a bit of a pity. I have to wait till it's drier. Some parts where it's thin, it is dry. So I often do this with the black one, same color, or same color or white, or a complementary color, which works well too. I will just wet it so the color comes off more easily. A little bit too much. I just want some lines. And if you haven't watched my video on making thin lines, it's on YouTube, so head over there and watch my video about making thin lines in cold wax and oils. This is still a bit wet, the Gamblin. And you can use nail colors. You can also use art grave, which is a kind of cool tool too, especially when wet. And they come in different colors. I think I have to wait till it's a bit drier. And these were test pieces, not finished paintings. So I hope that you liked this video about the different cold wax mediums. If you can find them and you're in Europe, contact me and I'll point you in the right direction. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. There will be more videos about painting with cold wax medium and oils, and painting with cold wax, water-based cold wax and acrylics. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you back in my studio. Bye for now.